All right, good evening, everyone. I will call the May 26, 2016 meeting of the Newtown Township Board of Supervisors to order. I will note that the board did meet in executive session, and I apologize for our tardiness, where we discussed the following matters. With regards to litigation, one zoning application related to a substantive challenge, and then also a settlement of a tax refund. With regards to personnel matters, discussion of administrative duties of an employee, discussion of employee problems with medical benefits, and then an employee performance issue. With that being said, Mr. Neese, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Altieri.
Here.
Mr. San Francisco.
Here.
Ms. Chanlis.
Here.
She said here, but that's really low. So
Can I,
do have to,
can we increase her volume?
everybody has to be able to hear her as well. Participant.
Thank you. Ms. Grosso.
Here.
Well, hold on real quick. Catherine, can you just say that you're here again, just so we can hear you?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Russo is unable to be here this evening. Your engineer, solicitor, and manager are here.
All right, thank you very much. We'll now move down to the moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. For the moment of silence, seeing that we're one day post Memorial Day, let's remember those brave men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice to allow us to gather here today. And we'll stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now move down to section 5, agenda 5.1. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
Motion was made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? All is in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All is opposed, motion carries. Section 6, public comment for agenda items only. If there's any residents or taxpayers who have any public comment related to an agenda item, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Just for the agenda, the public comment period is after the adjournment in your approved agenda. Just a note. I have a comment concerned about the issue in the codes report, agenda item 10.4, Z2026-01.
Real quick, can you just state your name and your address?
Sorry. Suzanne McCutcheon, MCCUTCHEON, 149 Ashley Road.
Good,
Okay.
good. Yep.
Okay. This is about Z2026-01, the proposed car wash at the Rite Aid location. Is this okay for me to talk now?
So it is considered, are you talking about it because it's on a report?
Yes.
I mean, technically as a report, it's an agenda item, so I'll let it go.
So now or later?
You can talk now.
Okay, all right. The latest proposal that happened Thursday night has the entrance and exit on the St. Albans Avenue, forcing all traffic through St. Albans Circle. There will be no access from Westchester Pike. If this zoning change is approved, it will fall to the township to address the safety and traffic concerns, which will cost us all money and not the car wash operator. I thought I heard their testimony. The company spent 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon for the traffic survey. Does the township have their own traffic survey for the circle load? If not, I would like to request one. It should take place during the school year, including Episcopal's upper school academic year that drive through there. Traffic on St. Albans Avenue southbound already backs up beyond the circle heading towards Westchester Pike. As one who's driven around the circle for 29 years and walked it, I would observe that adding an additional 45 cars per hour in the circle would make it even more of a choke point than it already is. The changes to reduce the number of lanes in the circle have made it a bit safer, and I thank you for that. The new crosswalks are appreciated, but not always observed by drivers. Going east on Route 3 from St. Albans Circle, the light only allows 3 cars through in each lane. When the circle gets backed up, people will seek other ways out through the neighborhood. The neighborhood is already a cut through for Bryn Mawr Avenue to 252 North, 252 South to Route 3 East, Route 3 West to 252 North. Safety issues we have seen, people not stopping at stop signs, people speeding, people not yielding to cars around the circle, people driving the wrong way around the circle. This will be the only building that processes a high volume of cars in Newtown Square that exits into a neighborhood. I'm not a traffic engineer, but I do have 29 years experience with the Circle. Common sense tells me that adding additional traffic to the Circle choke point does not help the neighborhood or those traveling through Newtown Square. This car wash, which nobody wants or needs, will serve to degrade the quality of life and safety of one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Newtown Square, and the cost to abate the issues will fall to the township. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public comment for agenda items?
Can you hear me? Hi, everybody. Nice to be back. A few quick comments. With regard to agenda item number 7.
Can you just state your name and address?
Gabrielle Bruno, Stony Brook Boulevard. With regards to agenda item number 7, the minutes, it would be helpful if you would post the proposed minutes in the agenda packet. I've noticed that in the past, the minutes don't always seem to properly represent the way public comment has been presented. And so it would be interesting to see before they're approved what they are, since they do come after the public comment for agenda items only. In regards to the reports for the police department, thank you all to our policemen for always keeping us safe. Chief Lund, I know I've asked multiple times, I don't know whether to present it to the board or the chief. It would be really helpful to the public to see a comparison instead of just the daily number of incidents, but a comparison in the incidents to a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That would just be helpful to the public to see if crime is increasing or decreasing, because there are assertions being made crime is increasing and nobody knows because we don't have that statistic. For the finance department, when I was here last time and I asked for further comment, Leonard, you represented that it was discussed at a public meeting. I followed up with Mr. Neese that he said it was the February 9th and February 23rd meetings. I rewatched and listened to those, and it seems it was discussed in private in the executive session. All that was represented in our public meeting was that somebody was fired, an employee number. It didn't say finance director. So we would just like some, like, why was he fired? Was there mishandling? I know that Stephen Neese claimed he's cleaning up past years. Were our funds mishandled? It's not your job that it was mishandled, but the public would like to know. Two other quick things before my time expires. For the library director, during her report, it had been represented to me actually by, who did the library run? I think it was Chief Young's wife, that she had tried to get a Bible study and it was denied, but I've noticed in the slides tonight that there's an LGBTQ day coming up. So I just wanted to find out, and maybe the director could address that if a Bible study would be allowed, to make sure there's no viewpoint discrimination. And finally, I again ask about agenda item number 4, and especially, I guess, in honor of Father Colagreco, who I think you'll be recognizing at his retirement. I've known him my whole life. His father and my grandfather actually played ball together in the Burt Ball League, and his whole life has been about prayer, about Jesus, about God. And I do hope that you've considered, I haven't heard any update from anybody other than Leonard on whether or not prayer could be included as an agenda item in the routine meetings. I think when I followed up with Mr. Neese, he said the official comment of the board was what Leonard spoke: if the system's not broke, don't fix it. And that was the reason for denial of prayer. And I hope you'll reconsider that, and would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Okay. We'll move down to section 7, but before we do that, I just want to say just 2 things, because I think it's important. We can tell this township unequivocally that there was no mishandling of any funds. Since it is an employee issue, I'm not going to get into why that employee was terminated, but that employee was terminated at a public meeting. There was no issues with funds. I want to just make sure that it's very clear that there was nothing nefarious or illegal that took place. It was just, a performance issue, if you will. And then going down to section 7.1 minutes, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the May 11, 2026 meeting?
So moved. Second.
Is any board discussion? The motion was made by Supervisor Grosso, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Section 8, resolutions of recognition 8.1. Resolution 2026-20, recognizing Todd Welch for his years of service to the Police Department Supervisor, San Francisco.
Resolution 2026-20, recognizing the service of Todd Welch. Whereas the Board of Supervisors of Newtown Township, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, desires on behalf of the citizens of Newtown Township to publicly recognize the service of Todd Welch to the Newtown Square community. And whereas Todd Welch has served the Newtown Township Police Department since September 3rd, 1996, whereas Todd Welch taught DARE at Culbertson Elementary School and the St. Anastasia School for 9 years and participated in the Community Helpers Day at Camp Garrett Williamson's over 20 years, whereas Todd Welch served both on the Delaware County Major Incident Response Team and SWAT team. And whereas Todd Welch promoted to sergeant in 2018 and served as field training officer. And whereas Todd Welch received numerous commendations, 2 life-saving awards, 3 distinguished unit citations, and a Meritorious Service Award, and whereas Todd Welch retires on April 24th, 2026, after 30 years of service to Newtown Township community and the Newtown Township Police Department. And now there be it resolved that the Newtown Township hereby acknowledges the longstanding public service, dedication, and commitment to the residents of Newtown Township demonstrated by Todd Welch, adopted this day, 26th of May, 2026. That is my resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by Supervisor Grosso. Is there any board discussion?
I've known Todd a long time. It's been an incredible run. Good guy. Thank you.
Any other board comment?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, hopefully you guys can hear me. Echoing what everybody, what Paul's motion said, Todd's been an amazing asset to the township. And in particular, I saw with regard to the youth, building bridges with regard to the youth of the township and the way the kids would light up at Annie's, when he would be walking through. So we really appreciate everything that he's done.
And then I'll just piggyback off of that to obviously say this is very well deserved. But as a former DARE student, I guess you did pretty well with me at least. So thank you for that. But we appreciate what you've done for this community and we look forward to you enjoying your retirement. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Congratulations. So what I also failed to notice, oh, here comes Gavin right now, is that Todd's son, Gavin, is an active duty Marine who came home specifically for this moment. So thank you, Gavin. All right, now we'll move down to 8.2, which is resolution 2026-22, recognizing Eagle Scout Carlo Nicolis. Whereas Scouting America Troop 315 has a proud history of service in the community of Newtown Township, dating back over 100 years. Whereas Newtown Township recognizes and congratulates Carlo Nicolis, a member of Scouting America Troop 315, on his achievement of Eagle Scout, the highest honor bestowed by Scouting America. Whereas this achievement represents countless hours of volunteer work by Carlo, including participation in numerous service projects over the years, and especially during his Eagle Scout service project, which involved leading the construction and installation of a message board at Brookside Park for the benefit of the community of Newtown Township. Now, therefore, the Board of Supervisors directs a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Carlo Nicolis on the occasion of his Eagle Scout Court of Honor to be celebrated on Saturday, June 6, 2026 at St. Anastasia Catholic Church, adopted this 26th day of May, 2026, and that's my motion.
Second.
Motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? Yes, I think on behalf of the township, congratulations to Carlo. And again, we'll present this resolution to him at his Eagle Scout Court of Honor on June 6th. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. 8.3, Resolution 2026, recognizing Father Michael Colagreco, Supervisor Grosso.
Resolution 2026-21, recognizing Father Michael A. Colagreco for his years of faithful service, leadership, and dedication to our community. Whereas Father Michael A. Colagreco, a native of Westchester, Pennsylvania, attended St. Charles Bartholomew Seminary and was ordained a Roman Catholic priest on May 21st, 1977. And whereas Father Colagreco faithfully served the parishioners of St. Anastasia Parish in Newtown Square as a parochial vicar from 1989 until 2003, at which time he was made pastor of another parish in Lenny, Pennsylvania. And whereas the Archbishop of Philadelphia appointed Father Michael A. Colagreco as the 8th pastor of St. Anastasia's Parish, effective July 2nd, 2012, where he was warmly welcomed back by all those who valued his compassionate pastoral care and leadership. And whereas the principal of St. Anastasia School recently said of him, as our pastor, he is a steadfast rock upon which our faith is built. He is the comforting presence during times of sickness, the joyful celebrant at weddings and baptisms, and the compassionate guide through the difficult moments of loss. He has walked with thousands of people through every season of life, carrying the weight of our community with grace and faith. And whereas Father Colagreco's example of faithful leadership, commitment to service, and lasting contributions to the community have positively impacted countless individuals and families throughout Newtown Township and beyond. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Newtown Township hereby expresses its sincere gratitude and appreciation to Father Michael A. Colagreco for his distinguished ministry and enduring commitment to the parishioners and the greater community, and directs a copy of this resolution to be forwarded to Father Colagreco on the occasion of his retirement reception, which will be celebrated on Sunday, June 7th, 2026. Be it further resolved that as Father Colagreco retires, the Board of Supervisors extends its very best wishes for him for continued health, happiness, and blessings in the years ahead. Adopted this 26th day of May, 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Grosso, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. Is there any board discussion? I think we could save this until the reception.
Yes, I
Gonna
think
be-
so too.
Father Artman's got big shoes to fill. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Section 9, presentations 9.1, Eagle Scout presentation by Bella Zahner.
We'll wait for the pop up. Hello, my name is Isabella Zahner, and my Eagle Scout project is called Planks to Picnics. Next slide, please. My Eagle Scout project proposal is to build new picnic tables for Greer Park in Newtown Square Town for Newtown Township in Winding Way. That was. My objective is to have people in our community be outside, like go outside more and enjoy the park, especially because it's becoming brand new and there's more opportunities and for people to gather around and enjoy the park. And I want the picnic tables to be safer. And can you go back a slide, please? Thank you. I want the picnic tables to be safer for the community and for more families to be okay with having their food and their children be near the picnic tables. Because as of right now, some of the picnic tables are looking a little rough. They've been there for years since I've been here, and it's just safer if we have picnic tables that will cause less injury and less sicknesses. And having new picnic tables can also be visibly appealing for new and older visitors, for more people could come to the township and enjoy what we have to bring to our community. Having long-lasting picnic tables that we can rely on can be very beneficial. Next slide, please. My project timeline is to have it around June and August. Having a proper placement for the picnic tables is also necessary. So the plan is to put it in between the new creek and the playground, so it's easier to get around. Each step is necessary to complete this project. I will need to find the right material, the right placement on where to do it, what's the best way to do the fundraising and having volunteer signups, schedule the right days to work on the project, make sure there's no rainy days and stuff. And having materials and placement is around the final, and making sure I get the materials and finishing the full report would be the end of the project. Next slide, please. The table design that I am planning to do is the 6-foot A-frame with benches, and with having one picnic table be ADA accessible by having one side extended out for people who have disabilities and stuff. I want the tables to have good sturdiness and have the right material that can last a while, so they don't have to worry about anything for people in our community. Next slide, please. For this project, I will need around 5 to 8 adults, and most likely being leaders and people from the township, and with around 10 to 15 people for volunteering for most of the days. Some materials that would be needed are materials like lumber, bolts and screws that can be for outdoors, wood glue, L brackets, and more. Most of the supplies and tools will be provided from volunteers, like food, water, rags, gloves, and eyewear, and as shown on all the other materials on the slide. Next slide, please. Throughout this project, safety is a very important thing. So making sure that the tools, like power tools, are used only for 18 and older, and that scouts still have the ability to use hammers and rakes and stuff that isn't a power tool, and also making sure that there's no messing around with any of the tools, and making sure that it is being used appropriately for lack of injuries, and also for lack of injuries, having protection like gloves and eyewear and proper clothes and shoes will be necessary for this project. Monitoring the weather is definitely important. We don't want to be building picnic tables outside in the rain, because that can lead to injuries and the ruin of the picnic tables as well. We will always have a first aid kit available and on site throughout this entire project. Next slide, please. For the cost of materials, it will be around $1,300 and supplies will be around $500. Most of the money will come from donations and fundraisers and other volunteers, while some of the stuff, like some other supplies and tools, will be also from volunteers throughout the project. And so the cost will be around $1,800, but that's just an estimate for right now. That is all. Do you have any questions?
I do. Our chairman has become great at putting together his daughter's toys right now. This is a great practice for him. Power tools are not suggested for him also. Maybe just the simple tools when he comes to help out. Excellent. Nice job.
Very true, everything you just said there. Very true.
I was gonna ask if you've always been interested in woodworking, or is this?
Back to the podium.
I haven't really been interested in woodworking, but I've always been interested in helping Greer Park since I was a little kid because I grew up there.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you chose this project out of other ones?
I chose this project because I wanted to do something for our community rather than the community that my scout that my troop is a part of, because I always grew up here and I even started most of my scouting journey here actually from like going to meetings with my father and my brother. So I've always wanted to do something for this community, and what better way to do something for the community than doing something at the park that I grew up in and that I always went to when I was a little kid.
I love it,
It's a
yeah.
Great timing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The park,
it's good time.
conditions and everything. It's gonna be incredible. Now, is your brother gonna supervise? You're gonna put him to work?
Definitely put him to work.
Good.
That's a good idea. No, I think it's great. Picnic tables, it's a place for the community to come together, to gather. I think it helps bring people there. We can eat lunch and talk and enjoy the beautiful park now that it's getting done. So thank you.
Great.
I also think it's important that we should note too, in addition to this project being for our community, your father has donated a lot of time to our community. He's an assistant scoutmaster at Troop 315. He's an Eagle Scout himself. Your brother's also an Eagle Scout. So this is a proud legacy with the Zahner family.
And a poll worker.
And a poll worker. And we wish you the best.
Thank you.
I can use a hammer, so I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very nice.
Good
Great
luck
job.
with everything. If you can just let us know when you're gonna start, because we usually like to go out there and, like, as Supervisor San Francisco said, try to help out as much as we can. Yeah. All right, 9.2, Janet Caravanis, presentation of the Audubon designated Upper Ridley Crum Creek Important Bird IBA signs. The floor is yours. Or I should say the sky. The sky is yours, Janet. Spread your wings at that podium, Janet. I'll stop now. The dad jokes are running its course.
This one? The green one, this one? Okay, do I start again? No. I'd like to thank the board for its continued support for Birdtown. Newtown Township maintained our gold certification for 2025 by accomplishing 95 points and 1,520 volunteer hours across 5 key strategy areas. And we have the this is to go into our already I'm sorry, the frame that's outside rather than buying another frame. So we're going to just slip this one in on top of what it is and continue. We hope to maintain our gold standard. That's the greatest level that you could get for all the work that we have done through all of the people who are part of our township, especially our public works and our other volunteers. Today I'm here, it is my honor to present to the township. Are we ready for here? Yes, for 5 Audubon Upper Ridley Crum Bird Important Areas, or IBAs, signs for inclusion in our parks, showing that we live in a unique location in support of birds. The IBA signs were purchased with funds from the EAC and a donation from Birdtown by Chester Ridley Crum Watershed. Our quest to find the signs started when Cindy Mahalo, walking in Ridley Creek State Park, observed a sign on their bulletin board and wondered whether we qualified for a sign. So with the help of a Birdtown board members that I work with, we were able to determine who held the rights to the signs and that we qualified to buy them for our township. For a little background, National Audubon, working in partnership with BirdLife International, began establishing IBAs in 1995. I quote, "The Upper Ridley Crum Important Bird Area includes Ridley Creek State Park, Tyler Arboretum, and other publicly accessed sites, including Willistown Township's Okahocking Preserve on Route 3 and 926, and several preserves owned by Willistown Conservation Trust, and a vast expanse of primarily private land north of Route 3. The site is significant for its use during migration and the nesting season, as a large patch of green in a fully suburbanized region. The IBA acts as a vital stopover site for many species, neotropic migrating songbirds. Indeed, this year's spring bird walk at Garrett Williamson on May 9th, World Migratory Bird Day, led by Mike McGraw, identified by sight or song 50 different species of birds. Our Meadow Preserve is recognized as an important bird area on the township website, but we haven't had a sign to let hikers know of its significance or any other of our parks. I'd like to thank George Sharrett, I'm sorry he has left, for determining which of our parks fall within the Upper Ridley Crum IBA boundary. After his assessment, we will now be able to see the signs at the Meadow Preserve, Drexel Lodge Park, Paper Mill House, and Goshen Trail. As mentioned, the Upper Ridley Crum IBA recognizes the vast expanse of primarily private land that is significant for its use by birds during migration and the nesting season. Unfortunately, we have lost 1/4 of our birds in the last 50 years, and it is now very important to support them. Next sign, please. The Pennsylvania Audubon Council, in partnership with Audubon Chapter and Birdtown, Pennsylvania, has started a bird habitat recognition program. This bird-centered program is designed to engage, educate, and empower individuals to rethink yards, balconies, and community green spaces, turning them into functional habitats that are both beautiful for you and beneficial for our birds. A yard sign helps others see your support for our birds and how they too can support birds. Please visit the birdtownpa.org habitat program to learn more about and submit an application. It's short. Our parks, churches, and schools receive the signs at no charge. Otherwise, they're for our residents, if they would like to participate, it is a $30 charge, but that helps to support the program and keep it going so that parks and churches and schools can participate. If you get your sign on display of your property, it ensures that the program can be sustained. And it shows others that you are in support of birds. So I'm now going to reveal the signs that I have here. Oops, sorry. So I have the 5 important bird area signs, which we were able to purchase. And these will be shown in our parks, and it shows that they are important bird areas. What strikes me, I think the most about this is that it's not just our parks, but it's our whole area here. There's very treed. And so we need birds fly at night and then rest during the day. So they are in our backyards looking for sustenance and water. So it's really important, especially now with so many birds having been lost, that we support them. And this is the sign, whoops, gonna allow. Not doing a good job, am I? This is a sign that would go into your yard. We have already done the process with the paper mill house, and it went through. They have the 4 components, which are food, shelter, nesting area, and water. And it's not somebody who comes out and checks to see if your yard, it's like a recognition program that you can have. So I'm hoping, I'll speak with Parks and Rec if they would like to have our other parks have one of these signs as well. So I'd like to be able to present these to you now, and if we wanted to do a photo op.
What's the other one? That was colorful. That's colorful. That's wild. My yard probably is certified with my wife, yes. Awesome. Yes. Have the on picture bid. Janet, can I just say, don't leave that podium yet. I think I've said this the last couple of years, that you've come up here, but I think it's important to repeat for those who've not heard it before. And then also just to reinforce what you've done with Birdtown here in Newtown Square and what you've done with those programs and those events is amazing. Every year they continue to grow exponentially, both in the programs that you're offering, but also the amount of people that are attending them. And I think it's amazing that of all the programs we have here in the township that have capacity limits, it's your programs that are always maxing out. And I think that shows, it's reflective in your passion and your drive. And, I just want to say thank you for what you've done for the community and engaging a whole new subset of people to no longer just see a bird fly, but actually to take the time to figure out what it is and the importance behind it. So thank you.
If you love birds, you have to love pollinators. Birds feed their babies caterpillars, which means you have to love native plants. So that's where it starts. And if you want more information, please go to birdtownpa.org. A lot of resources there. And come if you want to help with something, let me know. Just leave me a note somehow or other with the township. They can, Desiree knows where I am. And we'd love some help. Thank you.
Janet, if I can just say before you leave the podium that as a member of Birdtown, when you led it, trying to help out as much as I could, I learned so much from Janet. She's a wealth of information. I think we have a lot of opportunity to continue to get people to certify their lawn. And I will say we do have a volunteer portal. So if anybody is interested in helping out, more hands always make better work. And Janet and her team have accomplished so much here, but we like to treat our birds well here in Newtown Township. So the more the merrier. So
Yeah.
thank you.
And
Go birds.
Our rain garden just down there. Our rain garden is helping right now, the birds and the caterpillars.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. We'll now move down to section 10, reports. 10.1, report from the police department. Chief Lund, do you have anything to add to your report?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. 10.2, report from the fire department. Chris Young, Chief Young, I think is at training, so nothing, or is he on the? Yep, nothing to add. Perfect. 10.3, report from the public works director. Mr. Sharrett had to run out because the Bartram Bridge Commission is meeting in Willistown. So he has nothing to add to his report. Report from the codes department. 10.4, Director Rezcheck, do you have anything to add to your report?
Nothing that
Thank you, sir. 10.5, report from the Finance Department. Mr. Neese, anything to add?
I would just be very clear that we continue to move forward on the audits and we're making good progress. Hope to have everything kind of wrapped up and turned over to the auditors by the end of June.
And the last audit that we had, which we approved at the last meeting, was again, just for the record, a clean audit, correct?
It was a clean audit.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it was.
All right, 10.6, report from the library director, Ms. Caruso. I don't believe she's on. Nope. Okay. 10.6, report from the township engineer, Mr. Johnson.
Good evening. Just in addition to the report, just a few quick updates. Greer Park, all the plantings are substantially done and actually are taking advantage of the rain and are growing well. At this point, we're just waiting on the boardwalk, the lumber to be delivered for the boardwalk, which is really the last major item for that project to be completed at this point. And then we're just working on a bunch of series of other projects. The pedestrian safety improvements are being installed by Public Works at Route 3 and Charles Ellis Boulevard to allow for better pedestrian crossing. They're installing the signage there now. You would ask us to look at that Munger Road and Clyde Lane intersection. We just had somebody complete a traffic count. So we'll be coming back to you with some recommendations as requested for that intersection and working on other various capital projects. And it's now high season for land development construction. So
Any questions for the township engineer? Thank you very much. 10.8, report from the township manager, Mr. Neese.
Yes, I just wanted to, do two things. One, report back that I would say that the PGA event in town went very well. Talked to a variety of folks, both those who attended and those who didn't. What was amazing to me, there was several people that live in town that didn't even know the event was going on in town. And that tells that it really went pretty well, other than the fact that there was a lot of buses. And so that was probably the biggest piece there. So that went well. We have another opportunity as we think about our 250, America's 250 this year, the historic Newtown Square Days. Just a reminder that Saturday, June 6th, all of our historic sites will be open and encourage people to come out and enjoy those.
Steve, so a couple of things. I was going to wait until board comment, but I think it's just fitting to say this now. We have been talking as a board with regards to how that PGA tournament went off. And I think that between you, Captain Knoll, the downside of mentioning people is you're always going to forget people, but you, Captain Knoll, Gene and Joe Bale, Chief Lund, Chief Young, Public Works, so many members of the township staff who worked tirelessly leading up to that event and then during that event, I think is what really made it go off without a hitch. Speaking with residents in this community, even during the high time of, Saturday and Sunday, outside of seeing a few charter buses in the community, I don't think anyone would have known that there was, if you were living under a rock, you could pass, that there was not a major global event happening here. And I think that the low impact on residents was a testament to the 2.5 to 3 years of planning that your team had done with the PGA and with Aronimink. I've spoken to members at Aronimink from the board. I've spoken to members of the community and business owners and everyone, and even elected officials across the county who all have the same thing to say about how everything went off without a hitch. And from a coordination perspective, again, with Captain Newell and what he did with coordinating the state police, the FBI, FAA, and multiple other federal and state and other local agencies was amazing. And so it really was a proud event for Newtown Township. I know that leading up to it, there was a few vocal minority who were saying that it was only going to benefit Aronimink, but when you turned on the news and you went on the newspapers and everything said Newtown Square, Newtown Square, Newtown Square, it was great. It really was a time for this community to shine. To that point, I know that there's been also conversations about the amusement tax that the township has. I am correct in that once that number gets finalized, it'll be as part of the normal budget process, it'll be disclosed and we'll have a discussion on that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. That's all I just had with regard to your comment. Anything else for the township manager? All right, section 11, payments 11.1. Can I get a motion approving the certificate of payment request number 1 totaling $514.30 $514,032.30 for JMC Contractors, Inc., associated with the Greer Park redevelopment project as approved by the township engineer, leaving a remaining balance to finish of $414,500. Wow, $414,515.70.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? All's in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All's opposed. Motion carries. 11.2, can I get a motion approving the township escrow account releasing the amount of $859 for Western Golf Association that has been approved by our third-party professionals for completed work at 3600 St. David's Road?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by Supervisor Grosso. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
If I could just interrupt for 1 second, I just want to make sure everybody's very clear that this money was actually for the 17 event.
It's BMW, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the B&W event, and we're just cleaning up a bunch of stuff that was there. So if somebody says, I thought it was the PGA that was here, it was the PGA, it was not the Western Golf Association.
And in the packet that's available online, I think that escrow release shows that it's the BMW. 11.3, can I get a motion approving the refund of $100 to Jake Tarquini and Sons paving for a permit review fee overpayment as recommended by the Township Codes Department? It was determined that the payment was not required for proposed work.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor motion was made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, motion carries. Section 12, bills, 12.1. I've reviewed the bills and I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the 2026 check register dated May 26, 2026, totaling $869,535.78.
Second.
Motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. 12.2, I'll make a motion ratifying the bills on the 2025 check register dated May 26, 2026, totaling $6,417.74.
Second.
Motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. Is there any board discussion?
It says 2025 check registry, is that?
Mr. Neese?
That is correct.
That is correct.
It's a bill that we just got in that was actually for 2025 because we've not completed the audit. We're taking care of it. That's a
okay.
25 expense.
Any other board comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Section 13, new business, 13.1. Can I get a motion approving the property tax settlement agreement and release with Ashford Land Company LP, Marple Town School District, the County of Delaware, and Newtown Township? Let's get a motion made in second, and then we'll turn it over to Rich to talk about it as much as he can.
So moved.
Right.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by Supervisor Grosso. For board discussion, Mr. Sikora.
This was a declaratory judgment action that was filed seeking the refund of taxes paid on a parcel that through the land development process kind of just became open space, non-taxable. And the payments were continued to be made. So they were seeking a refund, but the administrative process wasn't followed. So we had a significant defense and it was resolved for $3,300 from the township, which was a fraction of what was being sought.
Any other questions for Mr. Sikora? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All is opposed, motion carries. $13.2, can I get a motion authorizing the township manager to sign the annual contract with CM3 Building Solutions with an associated cost of $25,530 for HVAC system maintenance at the municipal buildings?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chanlis, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. Is there any board discussion? You have something good?
I was just gonna ask Steve, I saw on there that there was some information that was crossed out. So was that on the page, there was some information that was crossed out? Does that just mean that we're not doing that option A, option B? And
That
has
is-
that been evaluated and?
That's correct. We are just looking at option A.
Okay. And from what I read, it looks like it doesn't include overtime or materials. Is that similar to what we had before?
It's a very similar, it's basically a maintenance agreement of what we have. And then if we have something break, we pay overtime or pay for those materials that's above and beyond that. But the actual going around, replacing filters, making sure the
Yeah.
equipment is running as it's supposed to. I think they come out twice a year, maybe it's every quarter and they do that. I forget now, but they do that. And then, so, but then if something happens over and above, it's mostly like your home, right? You have a maintenance agreement, or you potentially could have a maintenance agreement on your furnace or your system. And as long, they'll come out twice or three times a year and then inspect it and do whatever they need to, that's normal. But if you had a breakdown, then you would have to pay the difference.
This is very common in school districts and municipal buildings, these contracts.
It's very common.
And Steve, with regards to the total, what was the increase from last year?
$300.
And do you know how old our equipment is?
Most of the equipment was put in 2017 and 18. The Public Works building may have been a little bit later than that, if I recall right. But it was all part of that build out. It was about a 3-year window that everything got done.
Okay, because that's where I just saw the standard labor and material comprehensive coverage with those others, given the age of the equipment. It makes sense to go forward with this one. Okay.
Any other questions or any other board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. 13.3, can we get a motion authorizing the following properties to be sent to both the county and township planning commissions for Class 2 historic resource review and authorize the advertisement of such? 3901 Greedyville Road, 5 Hidden Spring Circle, and 3402 Horton Road.
So moved.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Grosso. Is there any board discussion?
And all these properties, the owners are aware and are in support, correct?
Yes, in fact, 2 of the properties, the owners
Requested.
actually
Yeah.
showed up at the, at the historic meeting historic commission meeting to express their support. So, yes.
Thanks.
And then for those of you who are watching or listening, so what happens is after we advertise this, an actual hearing takes place. And so that'll be at a scheduled event, probably two months out, give or
Yeah,
take.
so it'll go for before both the planning commission and the county planning commission, and then it'll come back before the board as a hearing.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Section 14 is board comment. Is there any board comment?
I just want to remind everybody that the farmer's market is coming up this Friday, is going to be the first farmer's market. You see some signs around, so hopefully people can come. It is now going to be at Garrett Williamson, no longer at St. Albans, so it should be a really nice community event.
Any other board comment?
Rita, you said about Captain Newell and his leadership with the PGA. It was absolutely an undertaking that people don't understand the coordination and what he did to really make our township shine. Steve, your staff, the whole thing, but the safety and security and talking to chiefs in Marple, Radnor, Upper Darby, Willistown, John's name just kept coming up just as a leader. And it's just awesome that we have him on our staff.
Any other board
Yes,
comment?
agreed. Just one final thing with the PGA. I did have the opportunity to work in emergency management. And I just want to thank Jean and Joe for all of the assistance and help they gave me to help learn what happens behind the scenes. That is a huge undertaking. There's reports that are made to the county about road closures. They keep track and log every event, you know, with people if they trip and fall, any sort of issue with emergency management that kept everybody safe while they were actually at the PGA. So I was grateful for that opportunity. And it really is a great thing that the township did, that everybody working in coordination really did a great job, including Chief Lund, Chief Young, Captain Newell, everybody. Steve Neese, a little shout out to you, to a lot of our township staff, including Desiree over there, worked really long hours to make sure everything, handled all of the police that were out at all the traffic stops, got their assignments, their radios. We made sure things were working, and all that coordination and logistics was really, really very well done.
I heard you were the navigator in the UTV with Captain Young.
I was, yes.
Scooting around that course and that was
It was really great. The medical staff from Mainline Health
100%.
did a really great job. So it was really a wonderful event, and Township has a lot to be proud of.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And the last thing I'll just say with board comment, because there was a question or comment about the car wash. I did just want to reiterate to the public that the board did vote to oppose that application. So the township is there in opposition to it, which I think is just important for people to know. Now we'll move down to public comment. If there's any public comment on anything that's not agenda item related, if you have anything, any taxpayer or resident, go to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Just state your name and address again, Suzanne.
Okay. Suzanne McCutcheon, 149 Ashley Road. I wanted to mention about good things. Greer Park, I'm thankful those changes are finally underway, and I've been stopping by and seeing the progress, and looking forward to enjoying the new park. The Arbor Day, I want to thank you, George Sherritts and Public Works, for making those trees available to the public to help support our birds and our stormwater management. The Street Trees Program, thank you for this program. That's the second, all the trees from the second planting, which was last fall, are all leafed out. So that's great. The Once Upon a Run fundraiser for the Friends of the Library. Thank you to the police department, the library staff, the Public Works, fire department for their assistance on that event, especially since it was so rainy and everything. That's it. Thank you.
Any other public comment? All right, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.